Homeless patients face many barriers to accessing quality health care. We don't know their full story until we get to talk to them.
Like at first it feels fine, and then it felt okay, and then it just feels, like it's a burden, like it's starting to take a toll. Well, I used to stay in shelters, and then I got kicked out of them for some reason. I don't know why. I grew up in foster care. So now I just kind of stay out on the street.
I ran away from home first. Not that I didn't have a great home, nothing like that. I just didn't want to follow rules. I was a dumb kid. And then the next time was I broke up, or my partner broke up with me, and then I got kicked out. So then I was homeless again, and then I've just been trying to figure out housing and everything else to get back on my feet. I'm, clean and sober 8 years, and I use my resources wisely, and I've been very blessed to get out of some of the lifestyles that other people are still living in.
I lost my baby sister at the age of 5, so I reached this type of maturity at a very young age, mentally and spiritually. And I began riding the bus by myself at the age of 5. I was a victim of molestation at the age of 5. That'll cause you to age, 100 years? Somebody touched you inappropriately or something like that. But I chose not to be a liability, but rather to be an asset. And that's my day. When I wake up in the morning, I thank him for waking me up. And I look forward to doing something that's not just gonna help me, but it'll help somebody else.
Literally, carrying around a bunch of, they're just getting tired. Not like the feeling like luggage, but just like bags and weight, just kind of done with it. It's what we make it, Yeah.
One of the hardest things is the weekends. There's not much open for resources and food. So if you don't have EBT, which is state food, it's really hard to feed yourself. And then during winters, staying warm can be hard. I don't have that issue anymore because I am at the shelters, but back in the day, just trying to stay warm during the winter, it was tough. I think that's the biggest one is to just be a little bit more humble. I know a lot of people with money, they look down on the homelessness, and sometimes it's not 100% our fault, and sometimes it is the life decisions that we have made. Granted, I was one of those people. I ran away from home. Well, you don't have to give us your money, you don't have to feed us, but just to be more humble enough to at least say hi and to check out how we're doing could be the best thing that we can get in a day and can make us smile. Because we're not all bad people.
The people around you can affect you indirectly. It doesn't have to be directly in your room for it to affect you, So I was living around a bunch of addicts and stuff like that, so it was hard to live around them because I'm not an addict. We don't talk about the same thing. The same thing doesn't interest us, so I became ostracized anyway. But I'm all right because I've always been alone. I caught the bus by myself at 5 years old, so being alone doesn't bother me. I'm not codependent. And I've been on the streets, almost 30 days or over 30 days. And I ain't never been on the streets like that before. I ain't never slept in the streets. Never. I was homeless, but I didn't sleep in the streets. I went to the shelters and stuff. 4 times, 5 times, something like that. Too many. Mm-hmm. Too many times. The winter time is really the worst, because you just can't put enough on to get warm. And then in the summertime, you can't take enough off to get cool. So the best thing to do is to learn how to deal with it.
It's Toby.
Toby, how long have you been experiencing homelessness?
It's been over 10 years.
My name is Devin, and I've been experiencing homelessness on and off since the age of 17.
That's me, Demetrius Arnell Young. I was 9 pounds, 14 ounces when I was born. That first baby bottle, I was about 10, 11 pounds, huh? Big baby, that's what I was, yeah.
The lack of a shelter is not the only consequence of being homeless. It also leads to a lack of dignity, security, and opportunity. The persons experiencing homelessness suffer also devastating consequences to their physical and mental health, as well as their social and economic well-being. They go through a stigma, some discrimination, lack of insurance, transportation, poor nutrition. And compared to our general population, they are more likely to have uncontrolled chronic diseases. They're prone to injuries and mental health disorders. This could lead to disability and in some cases even premature death. On the other hand, being sick can also cause or contribute to their homelessness. Earlier today, I was able to talk to a lady who just happened to lose her home and has just been in the streets for the first time, being homeless for the last 4 to 5 days. And she was living in her tent under the bridge. And while talking to her, you could really see how devastating and terrified she is. We don't know their full story until we get to really talk to them. Some cannot afford to pay their medical bills or medications to stay healthy. Some have struggled with their mental illness and addiction, and that's why they lose their homes. Some have some impairment to function in our society and may not necessarily have the family or friends to support them, especially in their times of crisis. And taking care of our homeless patients is aligned with our core values of social responsibility and respect for human dignity. We have the responsibility to take care of the most vulnerable and marginalized members of our community. We also have the responsibility to advocate for their rights and needs and to promote social justice and health equity. As we approach the end of the year, let us take a moment to remember the homeless who have passed away. Certainly, they are not just numbers. They, like any other, have had hopes, dreams, and stories. They were someone's child, parent, sibling, or friend. They deserve respect, dignity, and compassion. Let us honor their memory by renewing our commitment to take care of our homeless patients. Thank you.
Matt K., Joe B., Robert I., Mary H., Ulysses C.,
Larry H., Ricardo M., George O., Drew S., Elaine H., Sean M.,
Chris K., Darnisha W., Jerry Ann H., Albert A., Tony P., Dean N.,
Jonathan B., Kelly V., Thomas W., Lucky T., Jessica M.,
Carlos F., Teresa K., Mark P., Shirley Z., Scott S., Christina E.,
Timothy B., Randy F., Sean G., Kevin R.,
Robin J., Larry H., Kimberly N., Jeannie E., Larry B., Earl D.,
Ninua D., Art S., Terrell G., Ronald O., Jordan V. Cynthia K.
Iola S. Becky H. Gina K. Harold K. John P. Jeffrey B.
Richard R. Amber S. Ton L. Michael Z. John C. Vladimir P.
Dirk L. Lahila J. Scotty W. Hi N. Michael S. David A.
Brett H. Bob W. Gary K. John B. Richard H. Julie Jules G.
James H. Tanya S. Ernest C. Ronald O. Katie M.
Lawrence L. Christopher G. Anthony W. Devin M. Eileen S. Robin H.
Moyen M. Richard T. Dana M. Mike C. Tommy Dean W. Scott H.
Carol A. Nathan H. Rhonda R. Harry C. Doris B. Gilbert C.
Anna D. Native JR. Corey B. Roger T. Melody W. Tim W. Shan A.
Charles B. Scott K. Johnny C. Carla J. Shane M. Dominic P.
Jeffrey L. Teddy H. Dylan W. Richard H. Lisa P. Douglas D.
John R. Kevin M. Donald P. John T. Sharon B. Alvin G.
Stephanie S., Tina E., Michael J., Patricia H., Nenkit N., Craig C.
Shane N. Daniel A. Angel.
Quindre D. Brian R. Jerry L. William H. Krista M. James B.
Catherine A., Elio T., Steve O., Susan N., Kathy C., Melissa N.
Alberti L. Tracy J. Robert H. Charlene C. Mark D.
Harvey W. John M. Curtis E. Pamela W. Jesse C.
Wendy M. Alexander H. Michael A. Deborah B. Ernest A. Marie A.
James S., Jonathan L., Kenneth F., Derek L., Michael T., Sharon R.
Christy C., Robert M., Leslie C., David W., Jonathan S., Robert R.,
Jeffrey S., Robert M., Alicia D., Steve H., Mark D., Cash V.
Olivine, James P., Christy S., Timothy C., Paige, Morgan G.
We feel it equally important that we all pause and reflect on those who have died literally on the streets in our communities. those folks who were full of fear, despair, and loneliness. We thank you all for viewing and participating and joining in on this most somber of occasions. We certainly hope that during the holidays, busyness of our daily lives, that we might take time to reflect on exactly why we are gathered and why we read our names. And please take care of yourself and each other. And
have a happy holiday.